All right. Good evening, everybody. This is Grand Sword again with another amateur cast of you guys in the chat. Replays. This one is by my. It's from my teammate Zesky from Pacific Fire. We were last place, but we fought hard. This is against Skimo. Got where Skimo was in the last season of the Coach People League. So and so so we're gonna cast Zesky's games today. He sent two games. This is these are labeled as you can see here. Game 5 and tolerable tier. I guess we'll start with tolerable tier first. Okay, so we'll jump into it and let's see. How do you turn? It's out live, right? Still getting the hang of this, but alright. On the This is the map is polyploid, and on the top right we have Zesky. He's a Terran name, and on the bottom right is Kimo, who mains Protoss. The more you know. I never really knew Skimo or his DR12. Okay, they're complaining about their Zesky's uh, Zesky's in Australia, so and there in StarCraft it's not that optimized. You know, between him and Skimo, there's a huge difference, really. I can from on my end, I can for the most part, I can fight opponents no problem, no with minimal lag, even when I'm streaming, right? But hold on, let me pause for a second. All right. I was just checking if it's still recording. My apologies for that. So let's see what Skimo and Zesky has to see. I there's not much going on in the early game, to be honest. This looks pretty standard. Uh, Cross spawn. This is where Protoss is strongest, but this pretty much cross spawn is strong for anyone, but Protoss has a bigger advantage because it can go for 12 Nexus, right? Like 12 Nexus is very, very strong build. Regardless. Oh, is he going for? No? Yes? Yes. He's going Nexus first. That's very, very hard to counter, really. And we know that even in pro gamers struggle with 12 Nexus because unlike, let's say, 12 hatch or 14cc, because of the very nature of 12 Nexus, it comes at 12 supply. And, it's faster, Protoss gains more economically. Now, Zesky at them with a rather unusual scouting pattern, if I might say so myself. Here's a this is a pretty standard role. I guess he is anticipating a Zealot rush or something. Two gateways down, and let's see where this goes. Okay, so this is seemingly more like an inverted N, since because on a four-player map you usually go for an N scout for against on a TVP, because you need to check if Protoss is going for proxies. Now Skimo is Maynarding workers towards their natural. Now Zesky will find rather that he's going to face a Nexus first. And is Zesky gonna expand just yet? No, not just yet. Uh, 336, not the end of the world, really. But but Protoss gains a slight advantage because of this core on the way. Now two zealots are out, and there. He sees the Nexus first there, two gates too. Although he oh, I guess Zesky knows this by now. He's quite skilled really. Okay, there one's out. That's and bunker barracks wall, which is pretty normal. Not and now he Zesky expands. This is more of a scouting really. So I guess he's trying to build a wall. Nice job with the. Okay, he's attempting to harass the probes. No success. He got one though earlier, but this is not gonna fare too well. But that's expected. Natural on the way for Terran. A bit late, but not, Terran is very strong, very resource efficient. You know, it's a running gag on with Terrans that they, Terrans are stuck in two or three bases. But that's mainly because Terrans are efficient with resources, even with one just with two bases. Gas on the way. Oh, the Dragoon range is on the way. So we'll be seeing. This. We're entering towards mid game now. So it's a scout, and we'll expect more gateways as the game goes by, right? More gateways, and he'll go with a goon. I'm anticipating he'll go for a goon bus, but this could go anywhere really. Siege, one siege tank out. As a side note, the siege tank, in factory builds, right? And where you go siege, the tank goes out, finishes first, then the then the upgrade, the the siege mode upgrade. So he sees that Zesky is also cross spawn, but at a slight disadvantage. +1 on the way for Zesky. +1. The +1 will give him a good power increase towards the mid game. More supply depots and Scimo, meanwhile, just producing more dragoons, more gateways. This is pretty usual. Going for a robo here. I suspect that he might go for an for obs since it's poi like for poi maps. They're wide and you need obs in, well, not everywhere of course, but in strategic places where one would least expect it. And uh, here's the thing. You can detect hidden units without scans, or if you see something moving, right, like something warping, that's an observer or any other invisible unit. So that, I guess many of you will know that. And okay, so here's a that's a lot. That's 8 dragoons. Okay. Meanwhile, Zesky continues with the tank production. 3 factories on the way. I he, this is I'm reading this as a mid-game build for Zesky. Uh, not necessarily. Oh, 6 facts. This is quite common against the in TVP. A zealot here, another here to prevent potential expansion. Third base is free though, but then again, pressure. No vultures yet, so unfortunate SCP there. More goons on the way. Now we see vultures to complement the tanks. This is like an interesting game. Lights on the way, observers on the way, and the sight range. We go for a range. Sight upgrades with probs usually. First, then the speed, because the speed is not that important until very late game. Even then, you won't really use it much. One cannon on the way. He might be Skimo might be over anticipating things, but that's just me. Meanwhile, Zesky with a thick line of defense here and more, but not enough. But no. no eBay just yet. No eBay just yet. Which he'll need soon because odds are on the way, right? And so he scouts. He sees the robo, the upgrades. Okay. A knobs is on the center. More gateway units. This is basically like a bust. Uh, this can go. This game can go long. It's only 9 minutes. Gamon now taking a third base. Uh, the trick often here is to block in PvP, right? Free pylon so that voters can come. Oh, okay, now here comes. Here, they're taking opposite directions. But Skimo with the observer knows this. Zesky doesn't know. Here goes. Here goes the melee. Let's zoom out, big picture. All in siege mode, which is okay. Let's see how it ends up. Whoa. Zesky, wow, Zesky with a great management there. Great. Zesky winning that skirmish over there. And we'll expect a push, and Skimo will just stay on with this observer for still more production. Another factory from this is in my experience as I'm just low rank, right? And, okay, another skirmish on the way. He needs a vessel, right? Like Skimo, rather Zesky needs a vessel or at least an eBay to help ward off observers because Skimo can literally see everything. But +1 for Zesky means that he has a huge lead in terms of okay. He's now attempting to push in further. This has okay. Let's see how this the mine goes off and one tank goes down. Both all of his dragoons go down. Now here's where I was mentioning, right, the need for a vessel because this. Let's see where it goes. Skimos is way behind in a lot of things. The mines are good here because now he goes in. He's a Zesky might have a chance. Oh, okay, likes. Zawat likes. Zawat's likes are yeah, they can beat siege tanks even without a shuttle. Zesky not oddly enough not producing. This is a common mistake really. Now, does he have an eBay this time? Well, he does have a scan after all, but he's still producing more, and he's attacking the natural. Uh, Skimo has a lot of gates. Zesky just pushing on the offensive here. The natural nexus is destroyed, and this one's. Let's see where this goes, but uh, he's at the Skimo is at a big disadvantage here, weighing more mines to deter zealots and DTs, even with the observers. This that's an up ramp, and even with the high ground, Skim was deterred by Zesky's tank line here, and a lot of spider mines here. Now, Zesky attempting to he apparently saw this, and now it's now attempting to break this third base, which can be disastrous for Skimmel, seeing as his economy right now just minerals. Now, Skimmel attempting some shuttle bombs here, but this might not fare well. Okay, Dark Templar, Dark Templar attempting to, but that's gonna be dispatched with more on the way, but it's coming in trickles. A third, a third CC, and this is a bit late. The starport, a second armory on the way. Great ones. Still, Skimo attempting with a zealot with the shuttle bombs this time. This time with zealots. But let's see how it fares. Oh, here's the eBay. He built the eBay here to block the mineral only expansion. That's very ingenious, actually. Now the probes send us out, going in close. They siege. That's how you use the bad short siege tanks. At their turret here to deter any more observers. This vulture is more trolling than anything, but this is gonna get finished, and Scamo just GG's, and that's pretty much game over. Okay, let's move to the next game. Except before. That was amazing, really, from zesky. That was great. Skimo would have used more. Let's see. What what Skimo could have done was basically more expansion. He got it right. He got a lot of things right, really. Zesky was rather late with tech, but it was more than compensated with his aggressive offense. Okay. We're Alright, let's go to this one. Skimo versus Game 5. The map is on Goodnight. Goodnight is a four-player map first introduced in the Africa Star League, ASL, with the current Pro League Star for StarCraft in Korea. So let's go. Okay, it's out wide right. Okay, on the this time on the top right is Skimo, and on the bottom left is Zesky. Another cross spawn. How do you? The map is good night. I think there's a expansion here in the middle. Some good night. That's a pretty interesting map. I'd say it's like the outer space version of Polypoid, but I guess that's arguable because it's though it's asymmetrical like all Brood War maps. But that's my take on Good Night, and it's why I prefer it more to Revolver, where Revolver is like the opposite of Good Night or other Brood War maps. Like everything's symmetrical. Mhm. But it's Revolver is a unique map. I just don't like it personally. Sesky here with I guess he's anticipating this. This is a very standard defensive build in Terran versus Protoss because you can put this is a wall against zones where you can go for you can sway your Marines through but not the opponent's zones. This time Skimo doesn't go for a Nexus first. He might go for a Gateway Expander, which is pretty common. Now he's gonna go. Let's see. Yes, he's gonna scout now for Zesky's place, barracks, and this is this is a factory build. Might say, well, not really. This is rather standard. Now they're gonna attempt to find each other's bases. Um, the last game we saw, Skimo went for a Nexus first, which is a very greedy build. As with 12 hatch or 14cc, those are very greedy builds. And while we got a lot of it, we're really economy wise, Zesky was more than able to make it for it with his offense. So with he had like 7 or 8 factories in that game, so that helped. So he sees the gateway there. Surprisingly, not the Nexus first though, which again for player maps, even other maps though, Nexus first is a powerful build. Factory on the way. This is standard timing, no problem. Here's the here's the probe, and they'll see each other that it's cross. Nothing unusual here, so this might go late. Uh, now the now Dresky attempting to deter off the probe, and let's see what happens next. This might this can be a poultry stand, which has gotten some ground lately because of the south pressure. But there's not any of that. A quick citadel. Looks like this is gonna be a Templar build. Let's see where it goes. Gateway on the way. So here. Oh, a proxy factory. This is very. This is very. This is a bit dirty, but if this is if Zesky hedges on this alone, then he might have it's a 50-50. If this doesn't get discovered quickly, then Zesky can have a big advantage ahead. Wags on the way, so this is gonna be a Zout rush, I guess. Two more gateways on the way, and another Zout's about to pop up. Tank is new tank is about it. An add-on, so that's gonna be a proxy tank. Won't use a lot of Zout. Scimo deploying an unusual strategy here. No range yet, so this could go anywhere really. Now, siege tank, eBay on the way. He might be suspecting a drop. So, Bike's about to finish soon, and he sees that Zout wall, so he might want to get that eBay on the way. So he puts it, and there's from a wall. I wonder what's going through Skimo's mind right now, right? Like, I guess I reckon this is a different game altogether, played on a different stage. I didn't check the stats beforehand, but this is a unusual one, really. Zealot rush build. Okay, so a vulture is out, but there's not much else going on. Zesky hasn't even expanded yet. This is very weak because he invested too much on this proxy factory alone. So there's not enough defense here, and let's see. Okay, one cell, the cells are slowly coming in, but is the bunker's DPS is just too huge. Oh, okay, this one goes in somehow, and let's see, it's a robotics facility. It could be a drop. Nice. The CPs alone and a few vultures can fend off a few results. Uh, so me personally, when I see that it's gonna be a drought rush, Dusty is going to push out, and he might use this factory for its own devices. Let's see. He might be able to still salvage it. He does. I do an eBay wall here, which is I'm not sure if others do it. I do it. It kind of works sometimes, chasing this out now. Now they both have speed, and there's some parity now here, I guess. But yeah, there's some parity. Range on the way. A bit late because he invested a lot on the zealots. Now, there's a Marie. This is new on because of the way Skimmel played it so far. There, he has no expansion, and he's a bit tight on resources, and it shows. Now, wild photos is somewhat efficient because cells are very tanky. Uh, without even a single natural, there's not much you can do. Robotics on the way, a shuttle. He might he might be attempting a zealot bomb here, but okay, skirmish is here. But the sheer DPS from the Marines bolts it will be overcome, and Skimmel once again suffers defeat, and that's a GG. All right. So what can we say? It was unusual for Skim. Skimmel seems to like those unusual strategies. These days, I mean, The 12 Nexus did work out initially. Perhaps if he turtled more, maybe, with a or C or went in early with the Goon Bus. But then again, in here, in the Polypoid game, he skipped, rather, Zesky had already had at least a few tanks for his defensive line, so the Goons won't be able to do much unless he masked up a lot of gateways and masked a lot of food, which then Skimo would have had a chance, and that felt next to the won too. On the other hand, on the Good Night map, that was very unusual to go for a Zealot rush, considering it's a four-player map, and you usually do those rushes on two, three-player maps. Not so much on four-player maps, especially cross-spawn. Uh, but it could have gone either way. Uh, and you see Saskia's tunnel. I'm sensing that Zesky's doing a lot of work as is coming. So we'll see where it goes. Thanks Zesky for sending me these games. I truly appreciate it. If you guys have more replays for me to cast, please ping me on the Discord, on the StarCraft Food War Discord, on Artosis's channel. These videos will be unlisted on YouTube. Unless you want it public, then just tell me. And I'll be casting another game sent by Superman. Uh, but let's see if I can do this tonight. Maybe. Anyway, wait for that, and I'll see you in those games. Thanks for watching.